Hey guys, it's Todd from Like Minded Lunatics, bringing you, it's another drink, play, swear. Hey, it's all we do around here. I mean, besides looking forward to looking back on life events, it's all we confusingly do around here. Welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Drink, Play, Swear, and welcome back to Like Minded Lunatics. You know that Like Minded Lunatics is not just me here at Drink, Play, Swear. No, it's not. It's also the co-founder, Mark Gifford, and he does the Friday night videos here at Like Minded Lunatics. Bang! The Friday night videos are always fun, always a good time, my favorite part of the channel. Good job, dude. And bang, if you haven't done so already, folks, please hit that subscribe button so we can see how big this family is getting. Wow, it gets bigger every day, and we're excited about that. Thank you for the support. Speaking of, there are lots of ways to support Like Minded Lunatics. You can check out the YouTube channel. You can also watch us on Austin Music T.V, channel 16 on Friday nights at 10 p.m. CST. And you can become a patron on Patreon. Just search Like Minded Lunatics. Do it. Okay. What is it we do around here? Well, it's exactly what it sounds like. We play a game, usually a classic one. I pair it with a beverage. And yeah, we talk, we tell stories, don't we? Good, true stories for the most part. Okay, what are we playing here today? I don't know this game at all. Full disclosure, first time I'm ever playing it. It's Contra Force, bang, there it is. But it's Konami, and it's a Contra game, so how could it be bad, right? I don't know anything about it. What am I having to drink today? This is something new to me, okay? I know I usually do the same old thing. This is Bishop Cider's Painkiller. Now, you get yourself something, and we'll talk about this game, and we'll talk about this beverage, okay? Crack this bad boy. Here's to it. Okay. I'm just gonna say right now, I fucking hate this. This is not good. It's a coconut beverage. Okay. I didn't realize, okay, this is hard cider with pineapples, positive, oranges, positive, and coconuts. I don't know about you, but when I taste anything coconut flavored, I feel like I'm eating fucking sunscreen, okay? All right. Oh, and you know, I vow to finish these in the time allotted, so that's happening, but I do not like that at all. Bishop Cider, I love you. I love your stuff. I was actually trying to get a different one, and I got this. But it's a cool label. Painkiller. It says doctor's orders. I like all the art on here. That's fantastic. I'm just going to say right now, not my favorite beverage. Actually might be my least favorite beverage of all time. Let's get into it. Okay. Look, you get a player select on this Contra game. And it looks like different powers and stuff. Okay, what are we doing? We're jumping, we're firing, we're jumping and firing. It's a Contra game. Let's do it. Am I like having the worst Bishop Cider and playing the worst Contra game? Today's the worst? Okay. What are we getting into with the story today? I want to talk nostalgia with you. Now, we talk nostalgia a lot on the program. That's sort of what this whole thing is, right? It's me playing old games and telling old stories and getting wistful at times about it. And Mark does the same thing often with his Friday night videos and his Monday video matchups. We're talking the past, 80s and 90s mostly. Although these days Mark has gotten pretty good about doing some more modern stuff. How the hell do I get around this guy? Okay. Because I have an epic jump, is how. Nostalgia is interesting to me, and I've been talking with my wife about nostalgia quite a lot lately. And the other night, I said, without really thinking it through, in sort of a half-baked way, I said, I think in the culture, nostalgia is more popular than ever. I said that, but then it felt dumb. Like it was not correct. Haven't people always felt nostalgic? So I got to thinking about nostalgia and its importance in the culture and its importance to me. Everyone looks back on the 80s as this ultra cool time. I do like that you can blow up the stuff around you in a way that I don't really think you could do in the previous Contra games. That's good. But I don't know what the hell I'm doing on this jump right here. So let me get with you. and talk about nostalgia. What I was thinking is that I was an 80s kid. I was born in 81, okay? And we look back on the 80s fondly. We think back to the music, we think back to the technology, we think back about the media, the television and films, you know? And we just can't get enough of it. But what people don't really remember is that in the 80s, everyone was just talking about the 70s. And everything on TV was from the 70s because, of course, movies didn't really come to television until several years after they were made. And if your family didn't have a lot of money, your car was probably 5 or 10 years old, so that was from the 70s too. And in the 80s, we did love the music, but we spent an awful lot of time listening to and learning 70s music, right? We grew up thinking that we'd really missed out on the best stuff in culture, missed out on Zeppelin, missed out on original Sabbath, right? We were looking back at the 70s as if they'd been this glorious time that we just missed out on. It's almost like we were nostalgic for something we didn't even experience. How is that possible? Looking back and thinking about nostalgia, I think about the fact that my family and I are about to go to Disneyland, okay? Stay with me. I promise I'm going to connect these. God, that is awful. And we're going to Disneyland, and I went to Disneyland as a kid. How the hell do you get up here? What am I doing wrong? Internet, tell me. I can't figure it out myself. The game is garbage. What is happening with the truck now? Oh my God, game over. I'm grateful. Where am I going with this? Disneyland is where I'm going to go with this. We're going to Disney. We're going to Disney because my daughter is 12 and my son is 6. So my son is now old enough to hopefully remember this trip to Disney, right? Remember is key here. And my daughter is not so old that she's going to be like rolling her eyes at the experience. She's also going to have a good time and yes, we'll remember it. I remember my time at Disney as a kid fondly. And my wife and I were planning the trip and packing the bags the other day. And I got to thinking, I can't wait for my kids to be able to look back on going to Disneyland. Then I got to thinking, wait, what's important? The experience or logging the experience and remembering it later and talking about it endlessly? And then I got to thinking like, what is nostalgia and why does it have so much power? So I had to Google it, right? Like, am I right about this, that nostalgia is more popular than ever? And there are a few articles about it. There was this one young woman writing about the fact that Gen Z, okay, is actually nostalgic already, even though they're young people, because they're nostalgic about pre-COVID times. And, for them, COVID disrupted family life. It disrupted life with friends. It disrupted their education to some degree. And so they're nostalgic for the days before COVID. Our human brains, our monkey brains, are awfully concerned with the past and with thinking about what? Like simpler, happier times? But what if we could admit to ourselves that here I am in 2023, looking back on the 80s or the 90s nostalgically, or my trip to Disney when I was a kid? Can I admit to myself that 20 years from now, say in, 2043, if I'm still kicking around, that I'll be looking back fondly on 2023? Well, that's hard to wrap my head around because all I do in 2023 is think about the 80s and 90s. I guess my point today is I love nostalgia, but I'm starting to question maybe its value. That is, nostalgia's value, and why it, for the culture, and for me personally, has seemed to grow so much. That being said, I do think that my excitement for going to take my kids to Disneyland is because I want to experience it, and I want to have the experience. But isn't Disneyland and any kind of amusement park, isn't that soaked in nostalgia? I mean, we're all like walking around wanting to meet Mickey Mouse, aren't we? Mickey Mouse is a part of all of our childhoods, and I don't care that it's a dude in a suit. I'm still going to be excited and take the stupid photo. I'm going to take the stupid photo excitedly. You know what I mean? This morning, waking up, my son comes into the bedroom, and he's excited about going to Disney, right? And my wife asks him, who do you want to meet? And he says, Mickey. And then they asked me, just sort of absentmindedly, and Dad, who do you want to meet? And I said immediately, without thinking about it, Goofy. I love me a Goofy. He's sweet, he's dumb, he's wonderful. He's a kind soul, isn't he? He's got a great voice. Gosh. That was an okay impression. I should have worked on it ahead of time. But part of even our love for things that we are currently experiencing is based on our love of nostalgia. You grow up watching Disney cartoons, and those characters have been a part of your life, your whole life. Nostalgia, I really do contend that nostalgia is more popular than ever. Part of it, I think, has to do with our technology. We're able to, like, watch all the stuff from the past. You know, when you were in the 80s, you had to, like, find a video cassette of something or find an old record, and it was hard to do. And now you can just get online and look at everything. So maybe nostalgia is more popular than ever because we have so much access to the past. We have access to the past in a way that we didn't before. Weird thing, the human brain, our monkey brains love to think about the past and love to look fondly back on simpler times and romanticize them, even if maybe they weren't as great and simple as we've sort of come up with, yeah? I talk to my college students all the time about nostalgia, and they say that they're nostalgic for a time before cell phones. And I'm like, well, you guys were born like what, early 2000s? There were always cell phones when you were alive. And they're like, yeah, but we love to imagine what it was like for you guys. Whew. Just like me in high school, thinking about how cool it would have been to live in the 70s. We're weird creatures, and all these ideas are sort of half-baked. I didn't prep much today. I never played this game before. I just wanted to talk nostalgia. And I wanted to talk about what it means to us. And I don't know. I'm trying to question the value of it. While I question this god-awful beverage, I'm going to have trouble taking this one down, but I'm going to do it for you, okay? In between now and the next time I talk to you, let's get out of here. Hope you guys are doing well. We'll see you next time around. Oh, man. No. Coconut. Oh. See ya.